Welcome to Shore Perspectives, a community feature of WESR Radio, highlighting everyday people sharing a slice of life from their perspective.
My name is Linda Russell, and I live in Greenbush. I'm a wife, a mom, a firefighter, and an EMT. The tornado in Cherrystone happened, and while it was happening, I was sitting in my very nice law office as the office manager, looking out the window at all the fire trucks and ambulances going by, and I realized I wasn't doing much with myself, and I decided I was going to do something different. Once I made up my mind that was what I was going to do, it wasn't really necessarily to change my job at the time at the law office. It was just to do something more with myself. So I went to the firehouse and got an application, and I was terrified and nervous, but I was accepted. And after that, I went to Fire Academy, finished that up, and then I went to the EMT Academy, and now I'm an EMT, and I work for Northampton EMS. My grandfather was a founding member of the fire company in New Jersey, Blenheim Fire Company. My father was a member since high school or before. He's always been a firefighter, a chief. I believe he might have been president. Currently, my father and my mother are members of Watch Prig. Growing up in that kind of family is interesting. You never know who's leaving the table when it's Thanksgiving dinner. 3 of my brothers were members of a fire company. I can remember many times sitting around the table, finally eating, the tones go off, and there's a stampede out the door, and you're left holding your fork like, what just happened?
Fire and EMS community as a whole is a gigantic family on the shore.
It is. It is very much a gigantic family. When something bad happens to one of us, everybody comes together. When you're on a fire scene with several companies or, EMS, it's one big family. The lines are blurred. Everybody's there to do one job, and that's to help out whoever needs it. And it's literally the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. What
was the most influential person that you have encountered in your experience with the fire department?
The first would be my mother and father. The second one would be Philip Kelley. He was a chief at the time at Parksley, and he literally took me under his wing, and there was no question as an older female, if I was going to do it, I was going to do it. There was no second guessing. He treated me exactly like every other member there. I was expected to do my job on the fire scene and to pass class and represent Parksley, and he never doubted me for a minute. I will never forget it, ever.
How long ago was it that you began your journey into the fire department?
5 years ago.
So here we are. This is Thanksgiving week.
Mm-hmm.
You have seen a lot of things.
Yes.
In 5 years. Looking back on your life, looking at where you are now, what would you say that you are most thankful for?
I would say I am most thankful for the grace I've been given. There are no dead ends. Every time I felt like I was at one, a door would open or a way would be shown. Even though I would think it was my brilliant idea, I know where it came from. I am completely happy and content, and that's not from me. It's my family, my firehouse family, my Northampton EMS family, my husband, my children. I just am so blessed. I can't even believe all of it. It's just, sometimes it's too much to think about without crying. I am just so happy right now and settled. The advice I would give someone who is at an impasse is to jump in all the way and do it. You have nothing to lose. You are not too old. I am living proof. You are not too old to change your life. You can be scared all you want, but you still do it because you will never know if you don't try. The answer will always be, if you don't try, you will always wonder. You will not ever learn something new, and you'll always be a little bit unhappy, and you might always say, like, what if? You don't want to say what if.
Regrets are a bad thing.
Yes, you will always say what if, and what if I did this, but you just jump in with both feet and just do it.
What about someone who's afraid of failure?
I think being afraid of failure and being afraid of success are the exact same thing. If you're a success, you have to live up to that and prove it. If you're a failure, you might be scared of failure, but sometimes it's easier to just sit down and not follow through, because then there is no chance of either one. So being afraid of either or doesn't matter. Just jump in, dive in. We need members all over the shore. We need lots of volunteers. Don't be scared of it. It is challenging, but it is the most rewarding thing you can do to help someone. Don't be scared. Just go to your local firehouse, get an application, and do it.
Looking back on your life, where you were 5 years ago and where you are now, you've taken some pretty bold steps.
Sometimes I still wonder how did I get here? I really do. I come back, if we have a bad call, I'll come back and I'll be like, I can't believe I just did that. I can't believe I just went in that house. I can't believe, we put that fire out. It's just, you get to help people, but on the other hand, you're really proud that you were there. You kind of feel glad that it was you there so you could help them, So, yeah, I wouldn't change it for anything. Never, ever going back.
This has been Shore Perspectives. For WESR Radio, I'm Kelley Gaskell.